Introduction to Market Data in MD Trader. MD Trader is the industry-leading interface that provides single-click order entry for an instrument while displaying market depth against a static vertical price axis. The static price display gives you a visual sense of market movement over a period of time or relative to other markets. Here's a basic example of an MD Trader that I've created within my workspace within the TT Web platform. The MD Trader display comprises the following information. Here you will see the net change, the difference between the last traded price and the previous settlement price. If the last trade price is greater than the settlement, the net change is the highlighted green. If last trade price is less than the settlement, the net change is red. Keep in mind, if the show price as net change setting is enabled on the MD Trader settings, the actual price is shown instead of the price difference. Here, you have the high of the day, the instrument's highest trading price for the current trading session. A green bar in the price ladder also indicates the high for the trading session. Prices between the daily and high and low price are shaded in the price ladder. There is a representation of the high of the day. The low as well, which is displayed on the top of the MD Trader, is the instrument's lowest trading price for the current trading session. A red bar in the price ladder also indicates the low for the trading session. Prices between the daily and the high and low price are shaded in the price ladder. Here's a representation of the low directly on the MD Trader. You also have the open, which is located on the top of the MD Trader, the instrument's opening price for the current trading session. You also have total volume, instruments traded for the current trading session. You also have your position display on the top right corner of the MD Trader. This displays your current net position. The background of the position indicator is blue if you're long or red if you are short. Each time you receive a fill, the tab in the MD Trader widget also displays your updated position in the instrument. Last trade quantity column. This particular column will display the last traded quantity at the price level or at a specific price level. The background of this field changes colors to indicate the quantity traded at the same price, which is white, or a higher price, which is green, or a lower price, which is red. So in this example here, you can see that the last trade quantity was 59 contracts that were executed at 2156.75. The color code is white simply because the last trade was a neutral trade, meaning that there was no uptick or downtick from the prior price. If, for example, the market were to move to 2157, let's say there was a lot traded at 40, you would see a green box which represents a value of 40. Or, for example, if the market goes down to 2156.5, and let's say the last trade quantity was a 12 lot, then you would show a red code box with the value of 12 in it. The bids column, which you can see here, displays the aggregated bid quantity for a corresponding price level. The ask column, as you can see here, displays the aggregated ask quantity for a corresponding price level. Then you have your price column down the middle, a vertical display of static prices for the selected instrument. Initially, the display is centered around the midpoint of the bid and ask spread, which is indicated by a bold horizontal line. Each recentering resets that indicator. As you can see here, here's the bold line as stated. The work column, as you can see here, displays the cumulative quantity of filled buys or sells above the cumulative outstanding working quantity for your orders that are currently open. W represents working, and you can see here I have a working sell limit at 2161.5, which is represented by a numerical value of 1 as well as a color code of pink. In this case down here I have a buy limit working at 2153, which is represented by a numerical value of 1, which is letting me know that I have a 1 lot working at that particular price level. Then you also have the VAP column, which stands for volume at price, which is an optional display on the MD Trader, which can be accessible by right-clicking on the MD Trader. You'll see VAP, and if you show VAP, this will then create an additional column, as you can see, which will display volume at price. You can open MD Trader widget with the following methods. You can search for a product or instrument in the title bar, select it, then click on the MD Trader icon. As demonstrated, here's the search bar at the top. Simply type in the symbol of choice. Once the auto-populate kicks in, simply hover your mouse cursor over the MD Trader icon, which is the first icon in the list, left-click, and now your MD Trader is created. You can also click the Explore button in the title bar, select an expiry, then click on the MD Trader icon as well. So in this case, we're selecting CME, Futures, ES September 16, and we'll go ahead and select the MD Trader icon here. And now you're able to open an MD Trader. You can also select MD Trader from the Widgets menu tab. Widgets here, MD Trader. By default, it'll be blank, and you can use the same method by either typing in the symbol in the search field or use the Explore option. And last but not least, you can also launch a linked widget, which was demonstrated in our market grid video, by simply right-clicking within the symbol within the market grid, and you can either open an MD Trader from here, or you can launch a linked MD Trader from here. Recognizing average price of open position. The price ladder in MD Trader shows the average price of all your fills at different price levels. You can use this price point to gauge whether trading out of your position will provide you with a realized gain, loss, or break even. If you are short, the average price of all your sells is shaded red in the price ladder. If you are long, the average price of all your buys is shaded blue in the price ladder. Here's an example of a long position that I currently have. And to identify your average price, you will notice at 2156.75, there is indeed a blue shaded price. Keep in mind, the average price indicator is only shown if you enable filtering or if only one account is available for the instrument. Displaying volume at price data, also known as VAP. From the context menu within the MD Trader, you can also expose an additional VAP column in MD Trader to display the total trade volume at each price level as a gray bar. By default, showing VAP displays the combined volume for buy and sell orders. You can select options to split the volume bar into buys and sells in terms of quantities, display total quantity as a number, and you can also hide the bars and only show the numeric values. In this demonstration, I currently have 4 MD Traders. I would like to show you the differences between the 4 in terms of display and also how to access the context menu to enable this particular function. The first thing you're going to want to do is right-click on the body of the MD Trader, and you will see an option that says VAP, which stands for Volume at Price. By default, if you do not have the VAP function enabled, it will give you the option to show VAP. At this moment, I currently have it enabled on all 4 MD Traders that are displayed. Now let's go over the differences for each particular MD Trader and how they're displayed. If you notice, the submenu, Show Bars, split bid ask volume, as well as show values. So in this example, the MD Trader on the far left is only currently showing volume at price and bars, which is basically the default setting. So if you right-click, go to VAP, you can see it will show bars. The MD Trader to the right is showing VAP bars and split bid ask volume. So as you can see, the indication is showing a color code of the difference in volume versus buys and sells. Let's get back to the context menu and notice the checkboxes are a little different there. So the additional is the split bid ask volume that's checked alongside show bars. The third MD trader is showing VAP bars, split bid and ask, as well as volume and values. So if you right click on the context menu, you'll notice that all three options are selected. The difference here, you can see that there's an actual tally of contracts traded at each price level. And last but not least, the fourth MD trader is simply showing the values of the volume at price only. So in this case, you can see it's just showing the values. If I right click to access the context menu, you'll notice that the other two options are deselected, however show values is selected. Adding an instrument in MD Trader. You can add a contract to open MD Trader widget by simply clicking the plus button next to the tab at the bottom of the widget. This allows you to search for an instrument and select it, or click Explore to find and select an instrument. Here's an example. The plus sign is represented on the bottom of the MD Trader to the right of the tab that you see there. If I click on it, you'll see a very common display which allows you to search for the instrument by simply typing in the symbol and selecting the auto-populated result, or you can use the Explore function by simply selecting the instrument of choice. Once done, you'll hit Select. Now if you notice, at the bottom of the MD Trader, you have an additional tab, and that might be a bad example. Let me go ahead and remove it for a second and add a different instrument. So in this case, NQU6, which is the mini NASDAQ contract. And now you can see there's an additional tab created within the MD Trader, which is now showing a different instrument, and I can tab back and forth to switch from one instrument to another. Using tabs in MD Trader. After adding multiple instruments, you can click each tab to view market data for each instrument. Using the context menu, you can rename, remove, or copy a tab in MD Trader. You can also replace the instrument on a tab with a different instrument. For example, to rename a tab, we'll simply right-click on an existing tab to open the context menu and select Rename Tab. Simply rename the tab anything you wish. So for example, ES, hit Save, and now you can see the tab has been changed. To copy a tab, simply right-click on the tab that you'd like to copy to access the context menu. Select Copy Tab, and that will create a duplicate tab of the exact tab that you created a copy of. To remove the tab, right-click, remove tab, and now the tab is removed. To change an instrument on the same tab, you will right-click on the tab of choice, simply select Change Instrument, and again, the familiar process of changing the instrument by either typing in the symbol of choice or by simply using the Explore option. Centering the market. When launching an MD Trader widget or adding a new instrument, the prices are centered around the midpoint of the bid-ask spread. That midpoint is indicated with a bold horizontal line. As bid and ask quantities change, the price column remains static unless the prices are recentered. You can recenter the prices in all MD Traders in your workspace by taking one of the following actions. The first action, for example, if I scroll the dome just a bit up, now you can see that it's not centered. I can simply right-click on the price column of any MD Trader widget, and that will automatically recenter the MD Trader. The second method, if you middle mouse click on the price column of any MD Trader widget, that will also recenter the MD Trader as well. And the third option, if you press the space bar on your keyboard with the focus on any MD Trader widget, that will also recenter the DOM as well. You can also configure MD Trader to automatically recenter based on a specified number of seconds in the settings. This automatic recentering only causes the specific MD Trader to recenter. Anytime an MD Trader is recentered, the bold horizontal line that indicates the midpoint of the bid-ask spread is reset. Here's an example of how to adjust the auto recenter seconds parameter. You'll right-click on the MD Trader to access the platform's context menu. You'll go to Settings, and you'll see the option Auto Recenter Grid Seconds just by simply changing the value. Apply, save, and now your recenter is set to 10 seconds. Context menu options. Right-click in the MD Trader widget outside of the price ladder to open the context menu. On this menu, you can select the following options. You can show or hide order pane, which will basically show or hide the order pane which contains all the order entry options for the widget. As demonstrated, if I hide the order pane, you can see that the order pane on the left side panel is no longer visible. To re-enable, make sure to right-click outside the market depth trader itself on the outside border boundary, for example, show order pane, and now you can see the order pane has been applied. If you go to Open, you can open widgets, additional widgets for the instrument, whether it's times and sales. Open the times and sales widget for the selected instrument. For multiple instruments in MD Trader, click the tab for the instrument first, then select times and sales from the context menu. As you can see, we have now created a times and sales widget. You also have the ability to simply open a chart by going to Open and selecting Chart, and this will create a chart within your workspace. You also have the VAP option, which exposes the VAP column to show volume at price data for each price level. As demonstrated. The VAP context menu also has a sub-context menu which will allow you to show bars, split bid-ask volume, as well as show values. Customizing the settings. Right-click anywhere in the MD Trader widget outside of the price ladder to open the context menu and select Settings. In the Settings MD Trader screen, the settings override the MD Trader global settings. To make an MD Trader widget settings the new global settings for MD Trader widgets open in your workspace, click Set as Global Defaults when you make your change. You can set the following in the Display section of either Global Settings or the Settings MD Trader screen. Display settings. The window size, click to select the size of the widget, whether you want large, normal, or mini. Show price as net change. This particular option will display prices in the ladder as the difference between the last traded price and the settlement price for the instrument. Highlight midpoint of last recenter. This option will set whether to show the midpoint white line after the ladder is recentered. Show aggregator leg markets. If trading an aggregated instrument and you enable this setting, MD Trader will open the corresponding legs of the instrument in a separate MD Trader widget. Tick interval per row. This option will set the multiplier for the tick size at each price in the ladder. For an example, if an instrument tick size is 0.25 and you set a tick interval per row to a value of 2, each price in the ladder would then tick by 0.50 instead. The tick interval can consolidate the display of prices in the price ladder and display a greater range of prices while still showing the total quantity available. If you click the checkbox to enable this setting, the tick scale field appears in the MD Trader widget with the tick interval value that you entered. Auto Recenter Grid Seconds. This sets how many seconds before MD Trader automatically recenters the price ladder. Recenter when market has moved ticks. This sets whether to automatically recenter the trading ladder when the market moves a specified number of ticks since the last time it was recentered. Show Liquidate button. This sets whether to show the Liquidate button that allows you to submit offsetting orders immediately to liquidate your position. Keep in mind, this setting does not apply when MD Trader displays synthetic instruments such as auto spreader or aggregator instruments. Show Tabs. This option will set whether to display tabs at the bottom of the widget for the instrument used in the widget. Set Order Type Buttons. This setting will allow you to add or remove buttons on the MD Trader widget for commonly used order types. The plus represents adding a new custom button. In this case, let me delete one since I have maximum. Now you can see the plus sign. The X removes a new custom button. So if I click the X, it will remove. The order type parameter allows you to select the order type to associate with the button. The label column sets the display on the button. So for example, here's a preview to show you what the button will look like. In some instances, for example, stop limit, the text is too large to fit appropriately in the preview, so you can change the label by simply typing in an abbreviation, for example. Now you can see the preview has adjusted to STL, which represents a stop limit. Once you apply the order type buttons, they will then be stored onto the MD Trader as demonstrated. Order entry local only settings. The maximum order quantity sets the maximum quantity allowed per order. The second default order quantity value provides the ability to right-click in the bid and offer columns at a price level to submit an order with a different default order quantity. To enable this feature, you must check the checkbox and type a quantity in the box to the right of this option. Iceberg display quantity sets the disclosed quantity to display when entering natively supported or TT Iceberg orders. Stop limit pay up ticks from trigger. This sets the maximum number of ticks away from the stop trigger price to enter the limit order. And set as global defaults. The settings in this section apply only to the widget local only to make an MD Trader widget setting the new global settings for any additional MD Trader widgets opened in your workspace. Simply click Set as Global Defaults if you'd like to apply this action.